And now, back to PTR Radio with Mike, the Ape Man. Mike, the Ape Man.
My mother had one of those Euro sealers, and I swear to Christ, she tried to Euro seal everything. I was afraid to piss my pants, afraid she'd try and Euro seal my dick. I swear to God, she fucking used that thing on everything.
PTR Radio.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to PTR Radio here on the fabulous interweb. It's been a month, and I still remember how to introduce the show, which is good. My voice is a bit raspy, but I decided even though I'm on the edge of being sick, we were going to go on anyway. So with that said, welcome, everybody. For those of you that, aren't familiar with the show, this is PTR Radio, and we have lots to talk about because we haven't been here for a while. You know, we've been gone. We decided to take August off simply because we needed a break. You know, do you realize how taxing it is to go live twice a month? I mean, twice a month. I mean,
it's also because August essentially sucks.
It does. Absolutely, it does. But still, we do want everybody to interact with the show, so you can check out our social media channels. That's at PTR Radio on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, all the popular ones. Mike, the toy should hopefully be available. If not, I'll have to get you a new link.
Nope.
Okay.
It's up.
It's up? Good. All right, so you can interact with the show. Just post your comment. Mike will give you your couple seconds of internet fame. And that's how you can interact with us during the show. Along here, we also have Colin of the famous Colin Show. Mike the Ape Man, our friend from the East. Creator of many things. And tall boy aficionado tonight, evidently.
Drinker of cheap beer.
So, but yeah, August was busy. I had birthdays and everything else, and actually this month is extremely busy. This is baby month. That's what this is. This is nonstop babies.
You having a baby?
I'm not having. No, if I'm having a baby, there's a doctor which is getting a stern talking to, because that should not happen. And after 22 years, damn well better not happen. That would be a very long delayed fuse if that happened.
Do you know, it took me until like last year to finally get that joke from Mr. Mom.
Oh.
Where he's on the phone talking about the soap opera. What do you mean? How could it be his kid? He had a vasectomy. It didn't take.
There's been several like NFL players that it didn't. Well, the problem is you have to clean the barrel after you empty the gun.
Well, yeah.
Because otherwise it's still loaded.
Yeah.
There's still some powder in there that might come out.
It is not instantaneous.
No. No. You gotta take your sample. You gotta get 3 strikes before you're technically out. That's the way that they do this. For those of you that aren't that haven't gone through it. You gotta go to the batting cage a lot, and then you gotta strike out 3 times. That's just how it works.
And for those of you who don't know what we're talking about,
yeah, that's
Sneep. Oh, wait. I will clean it with alcohol first. Sneep. Okay? Here. I even have the little clamps to pinch off when make sure you don't bleed.
No pinch. Pinch bad. So anyway, yeah.
Or we can be like Dr. Paul, where he just gets the thing and he just says, he just crushes the
Ugh. So, anyway, no kids for me. No. We got a new, I don't know, grand nephew. I don't know what you want to call it, but yeah, my wife's nephew had a son, and then my oldest stepson is having a baby. He's having a boy here within the next week or two. So we thought maybe it would be today even, but not today. But it's like every time my phone rang, I'm like, ooh, got a baby? Got a baby yet? And so it was a great reason to interrupt all my work calls. So I'm like, I'm like, hold on, got maybe baby. So, and it's like everybody was okay with it.
It's either a baby or someone wants me to buy more car insurance.
Yes, I'm like, it's either a baby or my extended warranty is about ready to run out. Either one. You know, one I'm more happy about than the other. But yes. So yes, lots of things going on there. Let's see here. And so, you know, well, like I said,
speaking of getting snipped,
so we hope everybody's back and listening to the show. You don't forget, if you do want to, tune out or whatever, and you want to catch us later, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, ptrradio.com. You can find all the information.
That is very important.
Yes,
very important.
It is. We're reaching some significant milestones on the podcast. Actually, huge amounts of downloads, and let's see here. I was looking at it the other day. And I'm like, I think we almost hit like 25,000 downloads. I mean, it's like ridiculous numbers. And, it's not, because I have like 200 download clients pulling it down. It's like real people listening, which is awesome. And, actually we're higher than that. So all-time downloads right now, 32,500.
Wow.
Yeah, people like us. They really like us.
Yeah, that's freaking impressive. And considering when we put a poll out there on Facebook or whatever, luckily we get 2 responses.
Well, unless it's about toilet paper, and then
apparently,
if we tweet something about toilet paper, good Lord, it's like we go viral. But if we ask for some input, then But yeah, so we get some. So we appreciate everybody doing their job and helping grow the show. But anyway, we got some topics on Colin, you're house sitting, and dog sitting and everything. And
yes, I'm actually watching the flight information because I have my sister and brother-in-law are landing in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
From their flight from Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
And then my parents are on their flight from Edinburgh via Dublin.
Mm-hmm.
And they're also landing in Chicago.
Yeah, Mike and I...
And one of them has to go and pick up the other. So I am acting as the operator here, watching the 2 flights and letting them know what's going on with the other flight while they're trying to get through the airport.
See, so Mike and I were talking a little bit about it before the show, and it's a little bit suspicious, the timing of your parents' trip, over to England. I'm not saying
you don't know the half of it. Don't know the half of it.
I'm just saying, the Queen was in perfect health. Well, you got reports that she was recovering fine, and that she was enjoying her time at the castle. And then your parents check in that they're in England. And all of a sudden, now we got Charles in charge. All right, of our days and our nights, literally our nights. All right, and so, Mike, you want to expand on this?
Well, all I have to say is I hope they don't bring home a corgi because it'll be very suspicious.
Yeah. I mean,
so not only were they over there, they were actually literally in Edinburgh.
Yes, and at one point
they were in the castle. They're like next.
Mm-hmm.
They were next door. I'm sending you a picture. Just a minute.
I had to laugh because Mama Blair posted up the phrasing. I'm laughing because if I had posted this, I would have been raked over the coals. But she posted something along the lines, "It's an amazing time to be in Edinburgh." And I'm like, wow, if I had posted that exact phrasing, I would have been criticized.
You'd be on a
list. Been taken the wrong way.
You'd be on a list, Mike.
Yeah.
Now, Colin, your parents have never told me that they don't work for the Secret Service. You know, they never said, "Hey, we're not CIA operatives or FBI operatives." You know?
Well, so here's more evidence. I just posted a picture up the Slack. If you can stick it up there, Shay.
Okay, this is Mike. This is so, as the kids would say, sus. All right, I'm gonna share this. All right, because this really just, you know. Now I'm gonna assume that this was your parents either landing or taking off.
They were standing on the tarmac in Edinburgh, getting on their plane.
So, that's what you said.
And I took this picture.
But I say this was their. I say this was their
Good.
exit strategy. We have a black unmarked van next to what I would think is a private plane.
No. No, you're missing what that is. That is literally the Queen's coffin being loaded onto that plane while my parents were standing on the tarmac taking a picture of it.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't see a coffin to be able to even make that connection. My first thought would have been this was Harry and Meghan, but okay.
No. That's the hearse. That's the fancy
God.
hearse that was carrying the coffin.
No, Meghan's not allowed.
Well, okay. Well, shows how much I know. I have friends that are all about the royal family and everything. Like when during the royal weddings, they took off from work so that they could watch the ceremonies live. I told Kim, you need to check on them because I haven't seen them post anything in 24 hours. They may have drank themselves into a coma at this point. You need to check on them because they might not be okay.
Yeah.
No, but all kidding aside, I saw the pictures. It looked like they had a great time.
Oh yeah, they went on a cruise to Norway, and then had a week in Edinburgh. Yeah, they had a blast. And then my sister was on the Alaskan cruise, the exact same Alaskan cruise that my parents and I were on earlier this year. So that was her first cruise. She had a blast.
Now, switching gears for a second, Mike, you said something that, reminded me of a story. Now, granted, the story's a little bit old, but you said check on someone, because you hadn't heard from them in a while. Now, this was back in February, but a behavior which you shared for a while actually saved a suburban grandmother. Yep. A suburban grandmother being held by an armed home invader was saved by cops because her family was concerned when she didn't post her daily Wordle score.
Oh, dear Lord.
Mm-hmm. And I haven't seen you post lately, Mike. So are you doing the show under duress?
Okay, so, no, here's the thing. One, I decided that people don't give a shit about my Wordle score. Literally, I am still playing. I have a 200-day streak going. And I thank the New York Times for finally linking it to giving you the ability to link it to like a mobile device, so you can keep the streak going
between devices.
This was a legitimate concern of mine that my streak was on my desktop computer. What happens when I go up to Maine in October? How do I keep that going? I got to figure out how to remote in and be able to. So this was a legit concern of mine.
The first world problems of Wordle.
I know, but this is the kind of stuff that I worry about when I'm on the toilet late at night after eating tacos. So I'm sitting there.
Oh, for hours on end then.
Yes. I have still been playing Wordle, but I don't post it. And I made a conscious effort during the break to not obsess with Facebook, not posting on Facebook and what have you. Didn't want to do it. Right? So it's not that I haven't been playing. I'm just reducing my social presence.
I was almost tempted to play Wordle. But so far I have resisted. I have yet to play it. I have yet to install it. But when I watch drunk
There's no install it.
I watch drunk
There is
Irish
no
people.
install.
Okay, I have yet to play it, but when I watch drunk Irish people try and play Wordle, I was for a minute I was tempted. I was like, "Oh, it looks like fun." But it looks like fun cuz they're laughing cuz they're drunk. and the one group started every chain off with the word farts. And that to me made me giggle. So is Mike now thinking he could start off with farts as his starter word?
No. I have actually looked at sites that recommend the best starting words, and I'm like, okay, now you're just getting a little bit insane.
Yep, now you're becoming that guy who analyzed the patterns on Press Your Luck.
Yeah.
You know, or the guy who knew all the prices on Price is Right. You know, you're taking the fun out of the game. Don't do that. So, yeah. It was fun, though. I was at work when we got the word that the Queen had died. And, I said, oh, great, now we're stuck with Charles in charge. And only one guy out of my, 10-person office said, what, of our days and our nights? And I'm like, yes, finally. Somebody knew what I was going after. Everybody else is just a kid in that room. I don't think any of them are over 30.
The memes that have got I gotta look because one person has been sharing a ton of them, but look, I'm trying very, very hard not to be insensitive about this, but here's one of. Well, this one's borderline political, but it's Joe Biden signing something and says, "Dear Queen, sorry about your death. I really liked Bohemian Rhapsody. Sign, love, Joe." Well, now there's some truth to this one. It's Robert Downey Jr. Where when you hear the Queen has died, but you find out it's Elizabeth and not Latifah. Because apparently Queen Latifah was trending on Twitter because there was a section of Twitter that did not realize that there was actually a queen other than Queen Latifah.
I think there's several queens that are celebrities.
Picture of Prince Charles with the quote, "Alexa, play the theme from the Jeffersons." See, some of these are in poor taste.
Yes.
73-year-old man finally gets a job. About that one? No?
His first job. That's yes. Just the full joke thing. His first job.
Well, and I also had to educate the people. I'm like, well, it could be King Ralph. I had to talk to them about what that movie was because no one had ever seen the movie King Ralph before.
Yeah,
No, that is a movie that has disappeared.
I'm like, I don't understand why. It was a good John Candy movie. Or Goodman. John Goodman, not Candy.
You should know about King Ralph because I believe your face has been put onto King Ralph's promotional posters a couple of times.
Yes. So, all right. Let's see here. We do
All right, so
have,
you got a baby on the way, ish. Not your baby. We've covered that already.
I have a grandbaby on the way. Yes.
So, other than just doing stupid stuff that I've been putting off for a while, I can honestly say that I really didn't do much of anything notable in the month off.
Oh, I did. Here's what I did. I don't know how well you'll be able to see it, but I put that guy together.
Yes, that's right. You were starting the whole...
Yes. So, I actually did get it put together. It does work. It is hosting.
Yeah, Mike, I think we need to give Shaggy a round of applause because
because
the show actually started on time.
It started on time. There's no difficulties. Everyone could hear everyone.
Well, I didn't do as much rewiring as I really wanted to, but that's why everything works.
Okay.
Yeah, I got kind of lazy. Honestly, building that took a while. And a lot more money than I thought it was going to. So, but, and I do have, my whole goal was actually to film it, produce it, put it out in August so that people would have stuff to watch.
I was going to say.
I did film it. I have not produced it yet, but I got all the footage on, I did a 3-camera shot for God's sakes.
Oh my God.
But I haven't edited any of it yet. So, yeah, eventually that'll get made. Don't know when.
Yeah, that's like my lost footage from the last road trip up to Maine that I never put together because that kind of fizzled out.
Yeah. And I had a birthday during that time, during August.
Yes, you did. You did. I think I could say the only notable thing is that I did actually buy a pellet grill. I have not done anything with it yet, except put it together and do the initial burn-in, but that's about it.
I saw your Facebook post on that. Looks good.
Yes.
Yeah.
I couldn't pass up the deal.
Yeah,
basically,
that was the time to buy
Camp Chef wound up being like about $180 by the time it was all said and done. So couldn't pass that one up. It doesn't have Wi-Fi, but if I decide I want to upgrade it, I can just upgrade the controller to a Wi-Fi one.
I bought a new television. That was my deal. You ever heard of a site named Green Toe?
No.
So Green Toe is a site. You remember, like on Priceline, you used to be able to name your own price, and flight. Green Toe is the same thing except for actual things. So it's like name your own price for like electronics, outdoor furniture in general. The only problem with it is that the actual place that sold me the TV, and apparently it's on back order, so it's been a couple weeks now, hasn't shipped yet.
And so you put your price in, and then they give you this little gauge of your chances of success.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And you also will get back, if someone doesn't want your price, then you might get an automatic counteroffer.
Okay.
And the prices all include taxes and shipping. So it's the all-in price.
Ah, well, that's kind of nice.
So the TV I bought, I basically got it for $1,000 off of what it would cost me at Best Buy.
Nice. Very nice.
Okay. Interesting. Now I'm gonna have to go. That's gonna be my new obsession, is looking at this damn thing.
Now you're gonna make me spend more money, because I don't need to spend more money. I spent enough damn money on my own. Now you're gonna make me spend more money. Oh,
I won't say. Good.
Oh, I was gonna say the other thing I did was I bought some sunglasses.
I was gonna say I saw the whole rack back there, and I'm like,
so it doesn't sound like anything fancy, right? But so I've been carrying around. I don't have them down here, but this pair of gold sunglasses that I got from a wedding, and I just been wearing those to death, and they were just cheap like giveaway things, right? And but then my wife's like, well, just for our anniversary, she's like, just buy yourself a good pair of sunglasses. And I'm like, I don't know that I want to do that. I don't want to buy $100 or $200 pair of sunglasses because I know me and I will lose them or drop them or whatever. So, I actually bought bought something off of my Facebook feed. They had sunglasses for sale. So I got, these and these. And
where was this from?
These and all those. This is from a company called I don't know. I'll have to find the name of it, but it's basically $5. $5 a pair.
Okay.
So I bought 10 pairs.
He does not know how to just buy one or two. He you are the epitome of go big or go home when it comes to shit like this. You know that, right?
I didn't know what style I was going to necessarily like, and it's not like you're going to return a $5 pair of sunglasses. I mean, if you don't like them, you're just going to give them away to somebody else. So.
Okay, fair enough. I know, Colin, we know what we're getting for Christmas.
So, and I kind of wanted this style that had like the wraparound shield thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, I don't know if I'm actually going to like those. And it's just all plastic and polycarbonate. It's not like glass lenses or anything. So,
yep.
Turns out I didn't like these. So, not that much at least.
I just have transition lenses, so I'm always wearing my sunglasses.
Well, yeah, but when I wear contacts, now I can throw 2 pairs of these in my car.
Oh, yeah.
2 pairs in my wife's car, and a pair at work. And I don't really care.
I tried contacts once. And these are Oakley's.
Yeah. So.
But
because the thing is, I'll have a pair in my car. I'll put them on when I get in my car, and then I'll wear them in the house. And then I'll forget to wear them back out to the car the next day, and then I'm in the car and I don't have sunglasses. So now I just stash several pairs in the car. So at least there's a pair waiting for me. And like I said, I went into a client's place and I left my sunglasses. I walked out. I'm like, I don't know what the hell I did with them. Oh, well, they're $5. I don't care. Halfway home, I don't give a crap. They're $5. Who cares?
Are you kidding me? Up until I got my Wiley X's, the sunglasses that I was wearing, I got for 89 cents on a trip to Maine. And those are my most favorite pair of sunglasses ever. They're actually Berkeley fishing sunglasses. So they're polarized. They're not cheap. They were just like from I don't know if they have them out by you guys. Martin's?
No.
Kind of like an Odd Job or Odd Lot kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, we're in there. I'm looking on the rack. I was like, oh, these look kind of nice. 89 cents. So how could I not buy sunglasses for 89 cents? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
And it turns out they were like $30 sunglasses that they just happened to get in like an overstock kind of clearance thing.
Mm-hmm.
Those are my favorite sunglasses in the world. Now I have my Wileys, and I wear those when we're going somewhere.
Yeah.
I had a pair of Wiley prescriptions. Long time. It's when I first bought my convertible. I thought that was going to be a good idea. Those are nice. Very nice.
Yeah, so this is from a company called sunglassguarantee.com.
Okay. Great.
And,
so now I got Green Toe and Sunglass Guarantee. And
they had all kinds of... they had all kinds of... they got hundreds of styles and stuff. So they got like the big wraparound ones, and I don't remember if they had one of those full face shieldy ones, but yeah, everything's $5.
See, I need that. That's what I need next. I need the whole big old 80s Pit Viper style swimming goggle looking.
But yeah.
Yeah.
And it's lifetime guarantee on a $5 pair of sunglasses. It's a lifetime guarantee. $5 pair of sunglasses.
You know,
Well, print is, we guarantee it if you can figure out where we are.
Yeah. Here, Mike. This is what you're looking for, I think, right? So here, these guys, right?
Yes.
The LMFAO sunglass collection.
Yes. That's it.
So, yep. $5. Yes.
So, wow. All right. We really don't have a whole lot of stuff on the sheet here. And I thought we may have, maybe we would have had more stuff to talk about as far as what we did in our time off. But apparently, all of us just recharged the batteries and nothing exciting.
I did I watched some TV shows, a lot of movies, because we didn't do movies for this episode. Because we're like, none of us are either going to remember what we watched or remember to watch movies for this episode. But so there's a new TV series out on Hulu. Actually, I think it's on FXX called Little Demon that stars the voice of Danny DeVito as the devil.
Oh, fitting.
It's also stars his daughter, or one of his children, his daughter. It's actually really good. It's from the same creators as Rick and Morty, though. So it gives you an idea of the vibe of the show. It is very, adult in nature. It's not a kid's show.
Okay.
And it's all about the spawn of Satan. I mean, 100% the spawn of Satan. And, to the point where it got the attention of a U.S. representative who called it complete evil. I'm like, okay. Here's Republican congressman from Louisiana posted on Facebook. He denounced Little Demon, which his post had reached millions of people by Tuesday morning. He objected to the sitcom aired by the FX network. The show, which is about a woman and her 13-year-old daughter who are trying to live normal lives, even though Satan is the girl's father and wants custody of her soul. He says, I couldn't get to the remote fast enough to shield my 11-year-old from the preview, and I wonder how many other children were exposed to it and how many million more will tune in to the new series owned and marketed by Disney. The congressman and vice chairman of the House Republican Conference wrote on Monday. Okay, first of all, FX is not a child-friendly network. Never has been marketed as a child-friendly network. All right?
Yeah. Have you never heard of Archer?
Yeah. I mean, and I don't believe that the commercials for that show are probably airing, during daytime hours. I would bet that it's probably something, the commercials for which are probably airing after prime time, considering the audience that they're aiming at. So and if your 11-year-old can't come to terms with it, then, God forbid. Trust me, they see worse at school.
See, has he never seen anything on Cartoon Network?
Yeah.
Like Cow and Chicken? Powerpuff Girls?
I've had conversations about how Paw Patrol is just teaching kids about child endangerment and, latchkey kids. Because you never see Ryder's parents. This kid has tons of disposable income and no parental control whatsoever.
Well, I guess I don't watch enough cartoons to be critical of it. I mean, we grew up wondering how everybody on Seinfeld afforded their apartments, and same thing with Friends.
Well,
but,
Friends,
okay.
we know Rachel, Monica and Rachel were in a rent-controlled, building, so that was a little bit easier.
Because, yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, but I watched that show. I've watched, all the episodes. I watched like the first 5 episodes because that's one where they only release an episode every week that they come out. I also watched Sandman, which is a Netflix one, which was.
I wonder if you're going to do since you were watching Lucifer several months ago.
Yep.
And Lucifer was like a spin-off of Sandman. So I thought, that's probably something you're going to watch.
Lucifer wasn't a spin-off of Sandman. It was out way before Sandman.
It's a spin-off of Sandman. Lucifer was a character in Sandman.
Yes.
And so he was spun off to be a TV show. But so I'm not saying he was spun off from the TV show Sandman. He was spun off from Sandman the comic.
Okay. Because I believe Lucifer originally came from a book called The Bible. I don't think that it was necessarily spun off of Sandman.
Actually, I'm not 100% sure if Lucifer, the word Lucifer actually showed. It might be. I don't know.
No. Let's get into a theological debate about the origins of Lucifer. I think that's what our audience really wants to hear.
But anyway,
from two people.
Lucifer, the TV show, was spun off from Sandman the comic, which is why until God actually showed up in the show, all of the speaking roles of God were actually Neil Gaiman, who created the comic Sandman.
I didn't think
there's
there were
everyone's
any,
close piece of information.
I didn't think there were any speaking roles before God showed up for God. I don't remember God ever speaking on the show unless it was the guy from the Allstate commercial, and he was there on screen. Which I still say they missed a golden cross-promotion opportunity where he should have at least said, you're in good hands. He didn't have to mention Allstate by name, but he should have at least said that. But anyway, so I watched that. I last night started watching Alex Rider, which is an Amazon series. We watched the movie, actually. We reviewed the movie.
I was going to say, is that the one with, what's her name? Was Elijah Dushku was the tech?
Elijah Dushku. So we watched Alex Rider Operation Stormbreaker, which starred Mickey Rourke, Alicia Silverstone, and Alex Pettyfer, along with Ewan McGregor.
What was the movie we watched that was like a TV? It actually wound up being a TV pilot with Elijah Dushku.
Was that The Saint?
Yes, that was The Saint. Okay.
So Alex Rider Operation Stormbreaker was also supposed to, I believe, been a it was a film, but I think they were supposed to kick it off into a movie trilogy type thing, but it didn't go over very well. So then later on, after the 2006 movie flopped, about 10 years later, Amazon decides, hey, let's turn it into a TV series.
Yeah, you know what? You know why I didn't watch this? Because it looks too much like Spy Kids or some kind of crap like that.
It's not Spy Kids. It's not Spy Kids. So anyway,
so is it good?
It's actually really good. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm about 9 episodes into the first season. And what's weird is I watched the first episode. My wife was with me in the bedroom, and we were watching. She's like, I don't know what we're going to watch next because we've watched all the bake-offs. We've watched all kinds of stuff, and I was getting really tired of watching cooking shows. But she doesn't want to watch sci-fi or some of that stuff. So we watched one Team Knight Rider episode off of your Plex, Colin. and she was not interested in watching any more of those. Which, by the way, did they like have a pilot movie for Team Knight Rider that like told you how they came to be? That isn't there or something, because like they just jumped right into Team Knight Rider on episode 1, and I'm like, there has to have been a lead up to this or something, because it literally dumped you into the storyline, assuming you knew all these characters and vehicles and everything. There was no Michael Knight, there was no Devin, there was no Bonnie, there's no semi truck.
I kind of got that because I remembered that it existed, and then I was like, oh, let's watch this, and no, I didn't. It's crap. It is utter terrible.
I know, but I like to watch crap. We all know that. I like to just make sure that my knowledge of crap is complete. That's why I watched the Tremors TV series. All right? I wanted to make sure that I knew the complete history of Tremors. Everything, from the first movie to the last movie and everything in between. So, not everybody knew there was a Tremors TV show.
You know what? I remember watching one episode of this, and when the two motorcycles merged magically into one vehicle, I said, no, I am 100% out. This is the dumbest possible thing they could do.
Yeah, it did seem really hokey.
It was bad enough that every vehicle had its own personality. Okay, I get that, but it's a little too much like Pole Position, the cartoon.
It was a bit too much sass. Much more sass.
Not just Pole Position. Okay, so okay. This is a deep cut. It's probably nobody's going to.
This is a B-side of Team Knight Rider.
So there's a cartoon, which is what Mike was referring to, called Pole Position. Now, Pole Position lasted one season. And then they decided to take a lot of the ideas they had for that show, and they turned it into a completely different show called Mask. And Team Knight Rider was basically Pole Position and Mask recombined and turned into a live-action show. Now,
okay, talking about bad cartoons, have I talked to you guys about Turbo Teen?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you've talked to us about it. I know Turbo Teen.
Mike,
I know that very few episodes are left of it.
Mike, do you know Turbo Teen? Okay.
No.
So we may have to try and watch the trailer. Hold on, I'll work on it. No,
the hell you say?
Let's just watch the opening credits. They'll probably get us copyright.
Oh, you think anybody that was associated with Turbo Teen still is around?
They don't even have all the episodes of it. Most of the episodes have been lost.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't exist anymore. Turbo Teen is a forgotten thing of the 80s. Nobody knows what Turbo Teen is. It's like James Bond Jr. I was lucky to find it. But yeah. All right, here, I'll have that in just a second here. But it was... Turbo Teen was great in its campiness. Let's put it that way.
Oh my God. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
As I'm going through Team Knight Rider, I'm looking at the cast, and one of the vehicles was Greek?
Yeah. Yeah, one of the vehicles was Greek.
It's sad that you actually picked up on that. All
right, here we go. Here is Turbo Teen.
It was a stormy night when a bolt of lightning forced me off the road. My car skidded into a government laboratory where a top-secret experiment was underway. I swerved into the path of Dr. Chase's molecular transfer ray, causing me and my car to become
okay,
one.
I do remember this now.
The incredible Turbo Teen.
Yeah, this is...
It's so good. Oh, yeah. When he gets hot, he turns into a car. When he gets cold, he turns back into a teenager. Oh.
Folks, it's cartoons like this and shows like H.R. Puff and stuff that drove Nancy Reagan to start the Just Say No campaign. Because it's very clear that hallucinogenics were a lot more popular back then because people had to be high on something in order to come up with these ideas.
Well, at least they came up with ideas. They didn't just rehash shit, you know?
Yeah. Well, everything got blew up by the parent groups going and saying, oh, this is so terrible that they're advertising to our kids. We need to put new laws in place to say they can't do this. And we've lost decades worth of good cartoons.
So what? So what if Joe Camel had a penis for a nose? So what?
Yeah.
I mean, come on. It's a camel that smokes cigarettes. So what?
Why shouldn't he sponsor cartoons? You know? So what your 11-year-old smokes? He looks cool doing it.
All right, so listen, you talked about like them just Hollywood just reverberate or puking sequels and stuff up. I posted up something today, and this could be a little controversial. I don't know. Have either of you guys watched Cobra Kai?
I have not.
I've reviewed the plots on Wikipedia. That's the extent.
Okay. I watched the season 5, and I put it out there. There should be no season 6. Fight me.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently, this opened up a rabbit hole because people are telling me that there's plans to have an entire Miyagi universe now. And I said, wait a minute, wait. Not everyone can be Marvel. And while we're talking about Marvel, let's talk about Love and Thunder because I got issues.
I haven't watched it yet.
I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, God. Okay, listen, Marvel has clearly gone from the universe or quality side to the quantity side of the equation because between She-Hulk, which I think is very entertaining.
I did start watching that. I did not finish it though.
It's not finished.
Okay, I did start watching it, and I did start watching Hawkeye, but I haven't finished it yet either.
Hawkeye was great, but Hawkeye did not rely on a whole lot of effects or CGI.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She-Hulk, CGI, and it does look a little video game cutscene-ish, but...
Yeah, especially if you open... But the thing is, there's two things there. One, if you're watching it on YouTube, the YouTube compression algorithm is making it even worse. So it does look better when you're actually watching it straight off Disney+. But also, as you're watching it, after a while, you don't even notice anymore. The character just becomes the character, and it's not like she's floating around and stuff. So it works.
No, that's true. But this goes back to Miss Marvel as well, where the effects are kind of. I think that was where people started to say, Marvel, what are you doing? It's quantity over quality. You're putting out way too much, way too quick here. I think it may have actually started back with Multiverse of Madness. Some people were complaining about the CGI in that as well.
Yeah, I wasn't thrilled with. I did watch. I watched that. I watched WandaVision. So I've gotten kind of caught up on my Marvel now. I wasn't terribly thrilled with Multiverse of Madness, to tell you the truth, but I also wasn't terribly thrilled with Spider-Man No Way Home. And so I'm just not impressed with these latest movies. I don't know what it's going to take for them to bring me back over.
Well, they're kind of in between.
I mean, I like them. There hasn't been one where I've regretted watching it yet.
Yeah, but
although I suspect that might be coming.
There's no. I guess I just really was involved with the characters of Captain America and Iron Man because the story arc was so endearing, and you like to like those characters, and I haven't gotten that way with these other characters yet. So I don't know.
So the last couple of weeks, I've actually been catching up on old Marvel stuff that I hadn't actually watched yet. So I didn't watch the entire Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I think I pretty much just watched the last episode. I was like, oh, okay. I feel like I got the entire plot out of the last episode and didn't really feel any need to watch the rest of it. Yeah. Hawkeye, I finally watched all of that. That was very good. And yes, as you said, Mike, low on effects, that worked. I tried to watch Ms. Marvel, and I just decided it was kind of directed a bit younger than it kind of reminded me a lot of the kid-oriented movies we've tried to watch for the show, and I just find myself kind of drifting and saying, okay, well, if I was younger, I'm sure that this would be better, but don't get me wrong, I find that very important for that kind of show to exist for younger people now. So it makes me happy that they have something to watch. I just had other things to watch instead.
Okay.
I also watched that Owen Wilson.
Oh, the Loki
anyway,
one? Loki?
No, not Marvel.
No,
the secret hideout one.
He's wearing the suit. Yeah, I didn't watch that one yet.
That one was. If we were reviewing it for the show, I'd be like, there are parts of it I liked, but basically, anytime the plot is kids find something or are very stupid with it and bad things happen, I just like, why? Why am I watching these idiots do things? Why do I care? So.
Now, the other thing that I watched since the
Secret Headquarters. Show. Okay, got it.
Secret Headquarters. That's it.
I watched the latest season of The Orville because The Orville showed up on Disney Plus now, which was a pleasant surprise. I don't know what happened there, but okay.
Well, there's a lot of speculation about what happened there, actually. So even though The Orville is one of the number one watch shows on Hulu, Hulu's reach is actually fairly small in comparison to Disney Plus. And there's conflicting stories about whether there'll be a season 4 for The Orville. A lot of the cast members seem to have said in press junkets that season 3 was it. That they were glad that they wrapped it up on a high note, and they were glad with the way that things ended. But the door hasn't been closed yet. The sets are still there. Everything's there, and Disney has to make a decision on what to do with that property that they have. Seth MacFarlane hasn't said one way or the other, although he has made, a few comments that he wants to do other projects.
Yeah.
But this has been a passion project of his.
Yeah. So the question becomes, how do you have the Orville without
exactly
Captain Mercer?
Yeah, and this last season was good. I mean, it was it was really good because they tackled a lot of issues. They tackled issues, but they tackled them in a way that was respectful of the issue, respectful of the comedy, respectful of the sci-fi aspect of it. And there's a lot of people online who said this was probably one of the best seasons of the Orville, even though it was only a 10-episode season instead of a 12-episode season.
Yeah, I watched lots of clips of this season. I have not actually watched a lot of the Orville actually since the first couple of episodes, but I could tell, yeah, those were really, really good-looking clips I saw. And made me think, made me want to go back and watch more, but I just haven't gotten to it.
And so, Mike, I talked a lot there, but what was your thoughts on it?
Well, I said before the break I had watched the, I want to say the first 3 episodes maybe, and I I thought they were good, but I wasn't buying into the comment that what's his name? Why am I drawing a blank here? Mercer, Seth MacFarlane. He made a comment that their budget, since they moved over to Hulu, every episode was like a mini movie. And I was like, well, okay, maybe a mini Marvel movie because I don't see the special effects here. And one of my critiques was they brought in that new ship in the first episode, and all you saw was it parked in the hangar. Well, yeah, okay, they played a role later on, but I felt like they tried too hard to hit every social issue they could.
Yeah, I mean they did bring a lot of those into bear.
I mean, I'm not watching an after-school special here. I'm watching a sci-fi show. I don't need. I don't want to come off that I don't appreciate the effort, because I do appreciate the writing. Like you said, I do appreciate the approach. I just didn't need it a different issue every episode.
Yeah.
I felt like they went out of their way to write the scripts around these issues.
Yeah, and it's odd because I don't think that they necessarily did. I think some of them just happened to line. I'm sure that they wrote some episodes with some topics in mind. It's odd the timing of some of the topics that they came to, ahead right at the same time as the episodes came out. Or maybe that was just the same time that I happened to watch them. But, which is a weird coincidence a lot of times. But, I think that there's some history with sci-fi that they do try to cover a lot of social topics just to give that idea. And I think this was part of Seth MacFarlane's plan. Not that I can speak for him, but I can just infer from some of the interviews, was that, and from what Gene Roddenberry wanted to set a future where nothing was wrong, where all society's problems had been solved, right?
Yeah.
And what he found was that makes for a really boring show. That doesn't grab the audience. And so, later on what they figured out was some of these problems will always exist. Some of these problems are things that, either we as humans will never solve, or will run into because they're universal problems that other societies will run into eventually. And so, as we venture out there, we may run upon them again. And I liked their Prime Directive storyline, because that was one which was interesting because it was a social story, but it was a social Star Trek story, not a social, like, here in this world story, right?
Yeah.
So
okay.
that was a decent break from, like, the abortion tale that happened in the beginning of the season, right? I think they tried to walk it.
There was the gender identity revisited.
Yeah. Which I will say I got a glimpse of that because I saw a tweet from Seth MacFarlane that included Dolly Parton. And so I'm like, oh, we're going to see the Mocklins and Dolly Parton again. Like, I know that's going to happen. But yeah, I think maybe that drum was beaten a little hard. We could have done something else.
And maybe that's my point. That I get it. You want to tackle the issues because you want to show that you're relevant. You understand what's going on. You want to try and portray a positive message, but it doesn't have to be so.
Yeah.
If you go back through past episodes, you'll see that was my complaint about. It wasn't. Was it? What was the Stars version or the last iteration of Torchwood? Forever, the one where everybody is immortal, and Jack Harkness is the one that winds up not being immortal, like it flip-flops. My big complaint about that series, because I was a big Miracle Day, that was it. My big complaint about Miracle Day was they didn't have to be so in your face pointing out that Jack was a homosexual. They could have. It's like they did things. They had the Alice Eve from Star Trek, where she's just standing there, turn around, standing there in her skivvies for no damn reason whatsoever. They had that every episode, pointing out. It's like we get it.
Yeah,
we get it.
Yeah, I mean,
but that could just be me. I'm
like
just
you said,
curmudgeon about it. I mean.
Like you said, sitcoms have had that problem forever, so it's not unique to the Orville. It's something that all of them share, is that when they want to make a point, the problem is they beat you over the head with it. And you're like, listen, we get subtlety. We're not stupid. We get it. But they don't cater to the people who get it. They, unfortunately, they have to cater to the people who don't get it. So, but yeah. I watched all the Orville, and we'll see what happens. I have a feeling that, maybe that might be something that we don't get a season 4 of, but I don't know. So, let's see here. So I think, unless anybody has any other topics, we might just pick movies and call it a night for tonight.
I guess so. Unless we want to try this crayon thing, but I
didn't have great luck with it, and it was really slow when I was playing with it.
I'm going to be honest with you. I did try one thing. Like, I literally typed in puppies and kittens, and it literally looked like somebody put a artistic filter over a bunch of Google images. I mean, I was expecting something different, but
I kind of saw the same thing.
Okay, we can go ahead and we can pick movies since we.
All right, and then next time, next show, got a new game for my birthday. It's called Off Topic. Don't know if you guys have played it or not, but it's a game for those slightly off. And I would say that fits us to a T.
Yes, it does.
So, but it's a game where we need pen and paper. So, I'll save that for next one.
Okay.
All right. So, folks, just in case you're wondering why we're going to pick numbers here in a second. So we've got a list of movies that have been recommended by the different streaming services to us. Based upon our previous viewing history. And for the last, over 3 years now, we have been watching 2 movies almost every radio show and doing a Siskel and Ebert-esque review of those movies. And again, if you're not old enough to know who Siskel and Ebert are, think of them as pre-Rotten Tomatoes. All right? So we have a decent list going on. We add to it often. But if you have a recommendation of something that you've seen, feel free to send it our way on any of the social media channels, and we'll, if we haven't watched it already, we'll add it to the list. So, Mike, how many are on the list?
So just for reference here, the earliest recorded review we have was from August of 2016.
So we have been doing this not for 3 years, for 8 years.
August 29th. Yes, August 29th, 2016 was the infamous Cobbler episode.
Oh, I know we were doing it before then.
So we had Age of Tomorrow on August 1st, but I think that may have been where we decided this was going to be a recurring.
Okay.
Because you're the only one that rated that.
Okay. Oh.
All right, so the candidates are 1 to 48, and I'm going to venture to say that 46 of these were put on here by Shaggy.
All right.
Based off of the titles.
17, number 17.
This is probably still available. Okay, this is on Netflix, Granddaddy Daycare.
Oh, follow up to Daddy Daycare. Granddaddy Daycare.
Hold on.
Which stars some of our favorites, if I remember.
Danny Trejo.
Yes. Rena Wilson, Barry Bostwick. Yes, this is going to be... This should be an interesting film. George Wendt is in here. Norm from Cheers, otherwise known as Norm from Cheers. All right. Next one. 29.
Oh, this ought to be interesting. This is a Freevee movie. By the way, I'm starting to love Freevee. Space Truckers.
Haven't we already watched
The
Space
Dennis Hopper
Truckers?
movie.
I could swear we'd already watched Space Truckers.
Nope. No, we did not. I'm going through reviews. No, we watched Space Raiders,
Ah, okay. All right.
not Space Truckers.
Okay. Well, that ought to
Dennis
be interesting.
Hopper. Okay.
1996 comic sci-fi film. Okay, the story concerns John Cannon, one of the last independent space transport entrepreneurs. It's got a 15% on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's fantastic.
It has to be one of the lowest rated ones ever. Here's a great indicator. So the budget for that movie was $25 million. Any guess as to how much it made?
Colin, do you care to guess?
Sorry, I'm just getting the people put together on flight. Sorry.
So the budget for Space Truckers was $25 million. Do you want to guess how much money it made at the box office?
At its initial box office?
Yep.
I don't know. How about 12?
12 million.
Sure.
Okay. Mike, how much?
We're doing closest without going over?
Yes.
$1.
You
Yeah,
are
that's a good one.
closest by far. $1.6 million.
Oh, there we go.
Sorry, I wasn't going to give... I was not about to give Colin a chance to be the $1 D-bag on that one. I'm sorry.
No, I knew 12 million was going to be too high, but
Oh.
Otherwise,
I
why
thought
would
you
you-
were saying $12,
$12?
actually.
no, I'll change 12 million.
Do you want to guess what this independent trucker is carrying before you watch the movie?
Let's see. Let's pretend that they're stealing from Smokey and the Bandit, so it's an elephant.
Not an elephant.
Okay, we'll go Star Trek, Blue Whale.
No. Mike, any idea?
I
Are
said
you gonna
water.
Water? No, sex dolls.
Oh, God.
This is gonna be
That's
great.
not exactly...
I can't believe Dennis Hopper took this role.
I can.
And Steven
Dennis Hopper and... Oh, wait, who is that? Who's that with him? Steven
Dorff Jr., who looks like who in the picture looks like he's from Hackers, but is not.
Okay.
So, yep.
Was this by any chance like Dennis Hopper's last movie or something? Or...
No, I don't know. Nope. So, all right. Well, that's what we're going to be watching. So it ought to be a fun time. Yeah, Dorf can be best known as an advertisement for blue e-cigarettes. That's his claim to fame.
Oh, I thought he was the original bad guy in Blade.
I don't think so. Well, he was in Blade, yes. Yes, he was, but according to IMDb, has appeared in television and print advertisements for blue e-cigarettes.
Well, yeah. I also, what was Deputy? No. Was that the TV show he was in?
I don't know.
I was very upset that they didn't get a second season.
I don't know. So, yeah, it ought to be fun. Ought to be a good watch. So, all right, my dog is going nuts, and that means it is officially the end of the show, and we are going
Time to go watch the Emmys, I guess.
Time to go what?
Watch the Emmys.
Watch the Emmys? Oh, no, we don't watch the Emmys. That would be ridiculous, Colin. That would be just that would be silly. But we are going to end with a slightly different theme song tonight because I can't find the one that we normally end to. So, but that is what we're going to do. So, anyway. All right. Thanks, everybody, for watching. And, very loud. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We'll be back in 2 weeks. That's going to put us back on the 26th. So don't forget to tune in then. We'll be back 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern, here on all your favorite social media networks. So don't forget to check out PTR Radio on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, all that fun stuff. And follow the show. Just go to ptrradio.com. Sign up for the podcast so that you never miss an episode. Other than that, there ain't much more to say other than we'll see you on the 26th. I'm Shaggy.
I'm Colin.
I am Mike the Ape Man.
Stick a fork in us, folks. We are done. Later.